When you hear the name dolphin, an image of a cute, friendly creature playing with balls and interacting with people comes to mind. These are in fact genuinely considered the friendliest amongst the marine life. Dolphins are often found swimming with humans, squealing in their distinct voices, performing amazing tricks. While all this is true, there's more to dolphins than just being the clown. These creatures may be holding back their true nature. Dolphins we socialize with and are not afraid of might be much crueler than we thought. Don't you find some of their behavioral manifestations spooky? Tell us in the comments and make sure you give this video a thumbs up before we go ahead and introduce you guys to the dark side of these dolphins. Dolphins are some of the most intelligent animals to inhabit Earth, but it turns out we've been underestimating their intellectual capacities despite that. For instance, dolphins are quite familiar with games. To an extent, they don't even need a partner to play and have fun. They've been found to act competitive when more players are involved. If they have a partner to assist them in their fun activities, it just gets better. Just look at this dolphin that makes viral videos for TikTok with its human friend. Seems like it knows quite a few smooth dance moves. Apparently it's a fan of the famous Netflix series called Squid Games. Now, we can say that binge-watching series isn't an intellectually arduous task, but did you know that dolphins are capable of discussing the episode amongst themselves? Dolphins can communicate as efficiently as humans do. Just like us, they also have multiple languages, dialects, and a vast vocabulary. According to reports, the dolphin vocabulary includes about 15,000 unique sounds. That's a lot of words. That's not all. Do tell us when you think you recognized yourself in the mirror. Normally, human babies are able to pass the mirror test at around 12 months of age. So it's only logical that an animal should take longer, if not equal, right? Wrong. Dolphin calves observed by scientists were able to pass the mirror test at the age of 7 months. If the previous information shocked you, wait till you hear what this study performed in 1984 found. Scientists trained a female bottlenose dolphin named Akia Kamai to try and replicate the sounds produced by a computer. The scientists then established a connection between sounds and certain things. It was like attributing meaning to the sound. The dolphin was able to understand this quite quickly and was soon making corresponding sounds related to a certain subject. It actually learned an entire new vocabulary. What evidence do we have that the dolphins haven't already deciphered our language? What if they understand whatever we're saying? They could be making secret plans we don't know of. This level of intelligence could prompt the cetaceans to devise evil plots and maybe try to take over the world. Okay, if not humans, they can easily use their minds to harm other weaker creatures in their habitat. We don't say this lightly, that you shouldn't trust dolphins blindly. They tend to act extra sweet and innocent when there's a crowd watching them, but they may not be as welcoming and nice face to face. And don't be fooled into thinking that funny squealing sound they make originates from their mouths. While this isn't the most unsettling of their features, it is quite deceptive. More frightening is the fact that these dolphins will actually attack people they're annoyed with. We've all heard the stories where nice passerby dolphins would push a drowning person to the shore in order to save their life, but there's also some stories in which these cruel animals pulled the drowning person further into the water. There are quite a few recorded cases to prove that maybe we're a bit hasty in naming killer whales. The dolphins could give the whales tougher competition any day. For instance, a dolphin grabbed the leg of this woman you can see and began dragging her toward the bottom. The poor lady miraculously survived to tell the story. Now the question is, what prompts these animals we consider our pals to mistreat us? Well, according to scientists, one theory states that dolphins couldn't be bothered by pushing people to the shore or dragging them the other way. They actually just enjoy the reaction of a person floundering in the water. That's probably why interacting with people visiting the aquarium makes them happy. And just for your information, many dolphin attacks have happened in these aquariums. A few years ago in Mexico, during a show, a 10-year-old girl was bitten by a dolphin, who then proceeded to drag her to the bottom. She got out with a few minor bruises and cuts, but it could have been worse if the trainer hadn't rescued her on time. A second theory proposed by experts says that dolphins tend to see a person as a competitor sometimes. A competitor they must get rid of at any cost, especially if he's in a wetsuit or a vest. Just watch how the dolphins mistreated these girls in the presence of their trainers. That's quite rude, don't you agree? You may be thinking, so what if a dolphin considers me competition? I can easily defeat him. Well, we wouldn't be so sure of ourselves. If the confrontation is prolonged, one of you will have to sleep eventually, and we can assure you it won't be the dolphin. They never sleep. They always remain partially awake. While sleeping, the dolphin's brain switches off hemispheres in turns, so at a given moment, one hemisphere is always wide awake. They do this because they regularly need to breathe oxygen from the surface air. If all that doesn't make you rethink the friend status of dolphins, wait till you hear this. The frightening reason behind the aggressive behavior of these animals will amaze you. Turns out a person swimming nearby might seem attractive to the dolphins, so it might see you as its next girlfriend or boyfriend. Remember when we said only one of you will fall asleep? So you better not sleep in their presence. As observed, morality isn't a dolphin's strong suit. We're quite sure if these features were found in a person, Netflix would be making investigative documentaries about them. Hold tight as we reveal to you even worse things dolphins are capable of. In the late 90s, 37 bodies of young bottlenose dolphins were discovered on a Virginia beach. These dolphins had sustained serious injuries. There was definitely something dark and sinister about this discovery. Investigations later confirmed the speculations. These poor creatures were victims of a process called baby tossing. This is practiced by adult male dolphins who nudge the young out of the water with their noses and beat them up with their tail fins. They do this so the female dolphins won't have to take care of the calves and they would be the sole center of the female's attention. That kind of behavior is often only manifested by the insane or in someone with an altered state of consciousness. Now, Australian researchers think the latter just might be the case. They found that local young dolphins gathered in a circle and take turns chewing on a poisonous pufferfish, after which they stare at their own reflections in the water. But we cannot disregard the fact that the most logical reason behind the aggressive behavior of dolphins is quite simple. They're ocean predators and wild animals, not unlike a wolf in the forest. You wouldn't be surprised if a wolf attacked you, right? Dolphins aren't as happy to see us as they seem, and then we make them jump through hoops and perform for us in captivity. These creatures may not be able to mimic facial expressions of humans, and their smile is actually because of the special structure of their jaws. Now let's examine this menacing grin. The tongues of dolphins are weird looking, and there are between 100 to 200 teeth in their mouths. While these aren't as sharp as sharks' teeth, the dolphin can use them to firmly grab your ankles. Besides being aggressive marine predators, dolphins are also pretty fast and agile. A dolphin can get dangerously close to you within a blink of an eye. There's a pink river dolphin that can easily dodge an attack no human would be able to. It has agile vertebrae in its neck, allowing it to rotate its head about 180 degrees. Now, even if its neck cracked, it would barely notice, as dolphins possess incredible regeneration skills. They can regenerate large amounts of damaged flesh within a matter of weeks. According to recent studies, their bodies can produce something like a non-addictive but strong painkiller when faced with danger. So far, we know that dolphins are highly intelligent, composed, able to regenerate, have their own built-in first aid kit. Do you know what this means? The dolphin is a perfect example of a universal soldier. It's hard to argue that in comparison with a group of these soldiers, an ordinary shark seems quite pathetic. And as it turns out, sharks also know this. That's why they tend to stand clear of groups of dolphins. The shark knows that if a fight ensues, the dolphins are definitely going to win, mainly because of their body structure. Sharks don't possess a wide range of horizontal and vertical mobility, but for dolphins it's a piece of cake thanks to their fins. Additionally, there's a super strong and thick bone in the dolphin's muzzle. They use it to ram the shark with their nose from beneath before hitting it in the stomach. A bunch of these uppercuts can surely kill the poor shark. That's probably why shark remains are often found in the stomachs of dolphins. It's like the dolphin body is a natural torpedo. The military can put this soldier to good use if they try. An article published in early 2020 on military.com claimed that Iran has managed to weaponize this creature to their benefit. They possess combat dolphins that are trained to attack ships of the enemy and divers too. The article states that Iran acquired this weapon from Russia, where they had started training dolphins back when the USSR was still intact. Unbelievable, right? But there's always a possibility. These trained dolphins apparently know how to attack the enemy with harpoons attached to their backs. They can crash into enemy ships while carrying mines and even distinguish enemy ships from their own by the sound of their engines. In the last paragraph of the article, the author implied that the trainer came along with the dolphins, meaning the dolphins can be turned into soldiers on a much larger scale than anticipated. While most of us would consider this article rubbish, there is one proven fact that makes us think twice. The military has actually trained dolphins to help during special operations in the United States around the 60s. The US Navy trained dolphins to recognize suspicious metal objects, who then used echolocation to determine the dimensions of the said objects. The dolphin would then come back to the surface and point towards an object corresponding to a particular word. We did discuss how Akia Kamai had learned an entirely new vocabulary. If the dolphin pointed towards mine, it would be given a special beacon to put next to the bomb. They would then reward the dolphin with a well-deserved fish to eat. We're sure that their combat abilities are being kept a secret. For instance, another military-grade feature they possess is the homing mode. They can independently move each eye, and their viewing angle is almost 360 degrees. Besides that, they use echolocation to help them attack. They tend to stun their victims with high-frequency sounds. While we have our suspicions about the dolphin military collaboration, the assumption that dolphins might be plotting against humanity doesn't seem so far-fetched. There's actually a huge community of dolphin conspiracy theorists online, and they think these menacing creatures are planning a large-scale land invasion. They also think the dolphins want to infiltrate the governments, large corporations and military, and some might already be amongst us. All this, however, doesn't mean dolphins can't be our friends. Scientists from Florida Atlantic University observed dolphins for 6.5 years to realize that their social interaction mechanisms are uncannily similar to ours. A dolphin might like one person and avoid the other, just as we do. Dolphins who are attached to each other tend to live together as a community. The bigger ones occupy large open spaces and the smaller ones take closed shelters somewhere newcomers are present. That's almost how we urban dwellers behave. We have a lot in common with these creatures, but that doesn't mean we should not be careful around them and take all necessary precautions. We hope you enjoyed learning these dark facts about dolphins. We'll be back soon with more amazing content. See you all next time. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and notification bell so you don't miss out on new releases.